I'm about to show you the data from Property Monitor that most brokers in Dubai, they do not want you to see. Because if you're thinking about buying in either of these two areas, this video will save you a serious amount of money. Now let's get into it. What I'd like to do is I'd like to start with JVC, Jumeirah Village Circle. And I want to be clear and upfront. I'm not here to bash JVC. People live there, people rent there, and some people have made a lot of money there. But here's the honest question that you want to ask yourself before you put your money into JVC. What does the data actually say, and where is this area heading into? Because right now, the data is telling a very uncomfortable story. Since 2022, JVC has accounted for 10.9% of every single transaction of an apartment in Dubai. That is 55,189 transactions. And that is a massive chunk of transactions when we look at just one area of the market. The reason that matters is what comes next. Right now, according to Property Monitor, and it was data that I actually pulled today on the 7th of April, 2026, there are 35,494 units currently under construction in JVC. That's not planned, that's not proposed, that is under construction today. In 2026 alone, 12,004 new units are scheduled to land in JVC. In 2027, another 9,061. And that wave does not stop until 2029. Now let me put that into context. From 2010 to 2022, which is 12 years, JVC averaged roughly 2,000 to 3,000 completions per year. In 2026, we're looking at 12,000 completions in one single year. That is 4 times the historic average, flooding all into one postcode. When the supply multiplies that fast, only one of two things happens. Either the demand absorbs it, or prices and rents, they come under pressure. And the data is already telling us which direction that is going. Here is the number that stopped me when I pulled the data this morning. JVC's rental growth in March 2026, 0.00%. It's flat, it's not growing. And that is before the bulk of the supply pipeline has even arrived yet. The gross investment yield right now sits at 7.31%. And that sounds attractive. But yield is a calculation. It's the rent divided by the price. When 12,000 new units compete for the same tenant pool, landlords drop rents to try and fill their units. That yield will compress. And when the yield compresses, the investor case for buying weakens. The secondary market demand softens and the resale market becomes harder. Now let's look at the product mix. 84% of JVC transactions are studios and one-bed apartments. The average studio price is 620,000 dirham. The average one-bedroom price is 952,000 dirham. This is a market built almost entirely for young professionals and first-time renters. The most price-sensitive, most mobile tenant demographic in the whole of Dubai. These are the people who move the moment a better value option appears nearby. And right now, there's about to be 12,000 new options that are going to appear. Every week I speak to investors who already own in JVC, and they're asking me, how does my exit look? And the honest answer is the exit is getting harder and not easier. The secondary market is competitive because there's so much off-plan is launching at a similar or lower price point with a better payment plan. Why would a buyer purchase your ready unit at today's price when a developer is offering them off-plan, next door, 10% down and 5 years to pay? The payment plan competition is a structural problem in JVC and it's not going away. It's a feature of a market with too many developers. They're all chasing the same buyer. Now, my view as a broker is if you already own in JVC, you have to manage it very tightly. Price your rent competitively and watch the supply data very closely. If you're looking to buy in JVC right now, I would want to see a very strong specific reason as to why this unit, this building at this price makes sense. Now let's talk about ARJAN, because this is a slightly different conversation to JVC, because ARJAN doesn't even have JVC's market depth. JVC is a saturated market. ARJAN is something completely different. Since 2022, ARJAN has accounted for just 3.1% of Dubai's entire apartment market. There's 15,709 transactions in total, compared to JVC's 55,000. In a city doing hundreds of thousands of transactions a year, ARJAN barely registers. But here's what does concern me. It's more than just the volume. It's the quality of what's being built and bought there. 41% of transactions in ARJAN are priced below 500 dirham per square foot. That is the bottom end of the Dubai market. For reference, quality areas like Dubai Hills, Dubai Marina, they regularly transact at 1,500 to 2,000 dirham price per square foot. Now that gap tells you everything about how the market perceives the quality of the product in ARJAN. Now if you look at the supply, 9,622 units are currently under construction in ARJAN right now. 3,411 are upcoming in 2026, 3,561 in 2028. For an area that only accounts for 3.1% of the Dubai market, that is an enormous amount of new product chasing a very thin buyer-tenant pool. There are no 4-bedroom apartments in ARJAN, no villa products. The area maxes out at 3 bedrooms, and that tells you everything about the demographic ceiling here. This is a market for budget buyers and entry-level renters, and it's being flooded with supply at the exact same time that the higher quality, better located alternatives are launching with a similar price point and better fundamentals. The gross yield is currently 6.99%. It's lower than JVC, and it's in an area with less liquidity. There's less prestige, and it's a far harder resale story. Now here's my honest view as a broker. I've looked at a lot of products in ARJAN, and ARJAN exists as an investment market almost entirely because off-plan payment plans make it accessible. Not because there's a genuine organic demand that people are pulling themselves there. And when the payment plan disappears at handover, you need real tenants that are willing to pay real rents to hold your value. Right now, the data does not give me confidence that that demand exists at the scale that is being built. So where should you be looking? Areas that are constrained supply, a real end user demand. Dubai Hills Estate, it's a master planned, family driven, limited new villa pipeline. Dubai Creek Harbour, waterfront, modern, controlled inventory, business bay. The select towers, close to DIFC, strong professional rental demand. At the premium end, we have Palm Jebel Ali. There's a scarcity of beachfront products with a genuine lifestyle pull. The theme across all of these is simple. Supply is controlled, the demand is real, and the buyer profile is someone who genuinely wants to be there, not someone who has bought it because the payment plan looks easy. Now, all of this data is live data from Property Monitor as of today, 7th of April 2026. I'm not guessing, I'm not giving you opinions, dressed up facts. This is what the numbers say. If you want to talk through where your money should actually be going in Dubai right now, based on data and not just hype, fill out the form in the description below. I'll get back to you directly and we can have a conversation. If this was useful, please like and subscribe this video. It genuinely does help me keep making content like this. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.